now that that's done, now we get to have a little fun. I am very excited. Two of my favorite guys in pro wrestling. Well, they're not here, but I've got these two in here. No, I'm kidding. We got, of course, Brad Gilmore, my good buddy from Reality of Wrestling, and the five-time world heavyweight champion, two-time Hall of Famer, the rings gleaming in the beautiful fluorescent light in the KDAWN studios. Booker T in the house. Gentlemen, what's going on?
What's going on, Mark? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Good to have you guys here. Welcome to Las Vegas.
Thanks, brother. We appreciate you having us.
Well, it's always good to have you here, man. Welcome back. It's been a little while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, well, you guys should be coming here more often.
Well, I feel like we do. We're here at least, book 2-3 times a year?
At least 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to have you here. So what brought you to town, by the way?
Big fight going down. Sebastian Fundora going to be taking on Tim Tszyu in the main event, 154-pound supremacy. For me, boxing has always been a passion for me, and to get out to Vegas, any chance I get to see a good fight, I'm all in. Going down to T-Mobile Arena tomorrow night, so I'm excited, man. I'm really excited.
Who are some of your favorite boxers? I didn't know you were a heavy boxing fan.
Nah, man, I've always been a huge boxing fan. Of course, Tank Davis right now been really, taking over the boxing game, as well as Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? We was out for Crawford Spence, man. And that was a murderous fight. But I'm just love the game of pugilism. That's what I call it.
What's your favorite fight?
Oh man, favorite fight of all times. People might think it would be Holyfield versus Mike Tyson, but I think my favorite fight of all time is Ron Lau versus George Foreman.
Wow.
Yeah, one of the greatest fights you're ever going to see. I mean, I'm talking about knockdown, drag out. I think George Foreman went down 3 times. I think Ron Lau went down 4 times. It was an amazing fight. I think George retired after that fight.
I'll tell you my favorite one since we've been coming out here, though. My favorite fight that we saw was the Wilder Fury fight, just because I was so shocked by what I was seeing.
Yeah, that was
Wilder Fury 2.
Yeah.
Where Fury told us the whole week. He said it to everybody. I'm going to walk him down and I'm going to knock him out. Yeah. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? Yeah. There's no way that's going to happen. And he did it. Yeah. I just remember being shocked.
That is amazing. Yeah. I've been a boxing fan since I was a kid too. And boy, I'll tell you, I still remember like the Hagler-Leonard fight, that controversial one. But just watching Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes and, so many great guys. Just, man, boxing is so much fun. Went through some rough times for a while, but, there's still nothing better than watching two guys beat the crud out of each other.
Indeed. Muhammad Ali's going into the Hall of Fame this year, WWE Hall of Fame.
Yes,
so I'm excited about that as well.
Yes, he is. And it is going to be an incredible WrestleMania. And, of course, Booker T always a massive part of that. But I love one more match. One more match.
Man, I love it, but it's just like any other, sport. It's a young man's game, I'd never say never as far as getting back out there just one more time. But I think if it happened, it'll probably be it's going to be either happen in 2 places: Reality of Wrestling or Saudi.
For those that don't know, those events that WWE has in Saudi, they pay a lot of money.
just a couple of ducats.
So I'm just saying.
Just a couple.
I'm open.
Brad, let's put Brad Gilmore on the spot here for a second. Brad, if you got to pick the opponent, let's say Booker said, "I'm coming out. I'm doing one more." Pick his opponent.
Better be under 200 pounds.
No.
Wait, so are we talking about on the WWE roster?
And pick his opponent.
Well, if Booker T's going to come back, it's got to be big box office, right?
Mm-hmm, right.
And the thing is, I think that the biggest match you could make if Booker came back is Booker T versus Cody Rhodes. Because of the built-in story there of Dusty, being so instrumental in your career early on. And then when Book came back to WWE after TNA, had the run with Cody Rhodes and really helped shine him up as a single star who could hold a title. And that was for the IC title. And I think to pay it forward full circle after Cody goes out there and becomes his own version of the Tribal Chief and wins the world title.
Give me a shot.
Booker T, Cody Rhodes.
Give me a shot.
World title.
Give me a shot.
Crown jewel.
Give me a shot.
Main event.
I put them over.
I know who I wanted to wrestle.
Who?
I want a main event match at WrestleMania.
Okay.
With Triple H.
Oh, there you go. There you go. But he can't work it. Triple H is done. He's done. He can't wrestle.
I know.
You want the rematch?
He can find a way, but I want that rematch.
Just put me over. Just put me over. Just let me pin him.
You could put him down for good. Put him down for good.
There you go.
No. Of course. I think though I really like the idea. What do you think of that Cody idea? That's actually a pretty good idea.
I mean, that's a great idea. I mean, me personally, if I had to come back and take on someone, like I said, I'm looking for the biggest money draw, and that's going to be The Rock.
Oh, there you go.
Me and The Rock, we had a little.
That's a good rematch.
Yeah, I'm serious. We had a little something back in the day too. So I think, I think for me, it would be The Rock.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, of course, The Rock has made his return
Yes.
in a stunning situation that happened, and a lot of people thought we were going to get Roman and Rock, and the plan changed, and the WWE listened to the fans and put the brakes on that. What did you think of that whole thing as it went down, Book? I mean, because it's not often that someone says no to The Rock, and whammo, here we are with 2 nights with a tag team match with The Rock and Roman and Cody and Seth Rollins on night 1. And then now we're back to Roman and Cody on night 2 and all these other great matches too. But this is kind of an unprecedented situation that happened.
Well, I'm not surprised, to be honest. It happened just the way I thought it was going to happen.
No, come on.
Brad
Yeah.
can back me up on this one. When this thing first went down and The Rock pretty much interjected himself into the match, and then the backlash came, and a lot of people wanted to book the show and say, man, they should do this, they should do this, they should do this. And what I said was, guys, just sit back and watch and let this thing play out, because WWE has been knocking it out of the park for the last, I don't know how many pay-per-views. No matter if the card was made, no matter whether we had, not even if we didn't even have a full card, just had one match, and you watch the pay-per-view, you go, oh my God, it was what it been. So for me, I was always about giving the benefit of the doubt and let's see how this thing play out. The Rock has been there. He's done that. And if anybody can read the crowd, it's going to be The Rock. And the right decision was made as far as the way this thing played out. Now we got 2 mega main events for WrestleMania that no one saw coming. No one saw this coming. And now at the end of the day, everybody has a chance to, have that ultimate thrill ride. So let's just sit back and watch it play out.
And of course, that's coming up next weekend. It's hard to believe it's here, man.
It is hard to believe it's here. I felt like last year Los Angeles just happened, and I loved WrestleMania 39. WrestleMania 39 actually could go down as one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time last year. It was fantastic. Both nights, all-star, all-killer, no filler. And then, WrestleMania 41, of course, with Booker T and The Rock in the main event is going to go over like Rover. But WrestleMania 40, I'm looking forward to because and Booker and I were talking about this. I don't know if we were talking about this on the radio show or not. I think on the radio show. The 2 nights of WrestleMania, I was very hesitant about. I thought, I don't know how they're going to pull this off. 2 nights in a row of the same show. Like, how are they going to do that? And I think it's the best thing that's ever happened for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because I remember being at WrestleMania 35 in New York, and there was like 14 matches on the show. And by the time the main event came on, the people who took us over on the bus were like, hey, guys, y'all got to come on or we're going to leave you here. It was like 1:30 in the morning or something crazy.
Yeah,
so I think this was great. It was a great idea.
Yeah, it's going to be a sensational weekend. Of course, Booker T is going to be a massive part of that at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. And of course, Brad Gilmore, you're going to be out there too, doing your thing. So.
I'm not going to be a massive part, but I'm going to be there.
I'm going to be a part of it. It's going to be,
Stand and Deliver is really
your main. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Stand and Deliver. It's going to be kicking off Saturday morning. So guys, make sure you check it out. It's going to be a hell of a match with Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. Of course, Tony D taking on Ilya Dragunov is definitely going to be a match that you do not want to miss out and get shut out on. And for me, that's been my pride and joy, just being a part of NXT for the last year and a few months. So looking forward to Stand and Deliver. Can't wait.
And I think that's been a really cool thing for you doing reality of wrestling. Of course, your wrestling school, and you've been training a lot of people that have been moving up into the WWE ranks, and you getting to do commentary on NXT, which is WWE's developmental territory, if you will. A great transition there to be doing commentary and then, kind of sliding in and sliding out and keeping an eye on things. Yeah. That's a real natural for you.
Yeah, actually, to be a part of NXT, it's definitely a easy transition. Having a lot of my students at Reality of Wrestling, hoping, and working to get to that next level. It's been really, really awesome to see, like my students like Roxanne Perez, and still be able to, work up close and personal, with her has been really, really awesome. For me, even working with, like the NIL talent that's coming through, just because sometimes, they have the trainers in NXT, and they got a lot of really, really great trainers there. But I always say, to be able to hear it from a different perspective sometimes might be that light bulb moment that help you out, So for me, to be able to still stay relevant through these young guys and helping them get to that next level, because just say, for instance, last Tuesday night, they did a package on Carmelo and Trick. And of course, I was in there talking about both of these guys. These guys are still keeping me relevant. You know what I mean? I paved the way for these young guys, and for me to still be able to, be a part of it is so freaking cool. And I don't want that to be that's not an understatement. It's so freaking cool to be a part of, with these young guys going on right now.
And they have so much respect for you, Book. And I think sometimes when people say your name, you hear about people talk about Ric Flair and guys like Hogan and Steve Austin and The Rock and so on. But when people look back on your career, I sometimes forget the trailblazer that you were and the things that you did and accomplished. So many firsts in pro wrestling, and the titles that you won, and just the things that you did, man, just unheard of. When you were, and it's true.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying to butter you up or anything, but I'm saying it because the career that you had was something that I think people in professional wrestling and fans should treasure even more than they do. They love you, but I think that you should be kind of higher up in the hierarchy. You know what I mean?
We talk about this all the time, as far as my place in the wrestling business and what I've done. A lot of it has been shadowed, just because of, just like, say, for instance, my wrestling career. I was a pretty good wrestler, and I've had a lot of great wrestling matches, but I think for my entertainment, overshadowed a lot of, what I did in the ring, and people remember me from being a really, really good entertainer. Should I be on that Mount Rushmore, of professional wrestling? Perhaps, but I really, honestly, truly am happy with my place in the business, as well as, the respect, like you said, that I get from people from all, over the world, from all walks of life. Just being out here in Vegas this last couple of days, I've taken so many photos.
No. I've taken so many photos.
No, it's crazy. It's like I'm more popular now than actually when I was in the ring, just as much. So I am truly living my best life, and I'm so appreciative to what professional wrestling has given me and my family for the last 30 plus years. I truly am.
Well, do we have a second? Can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? There is a lot of Rushmore talk, and I've thought about this recently. Book, you shouldn't be on the Mount Rushmore. You shouldn't be. You should have the Lincoln Memorial. No, because he's in a realm all by himself. And I think that Booker T, and I mean this, is the greatest wrestling superstar in the history of the business. And I say this for this reason. Think about anything you could think about in this industry. An elite tag team wrestler. Okay, done that. An elite single star. Done that as a technical wrestler, right? Memorable moveset, memorable catchphrases, entertaining on the mic, great as a babyface, better as a heel, but still equally great either way of it. Then you talk into the character standpoint, promos, matches. Then you go, okay, well, he's done being a wrestler. Now he's commentator. He's doing excellent at that, right? Okay, maybe not a commentator anymore. Oh, wait, he's also a trainer. Oh, he's also doing a school. Oh, he's also the SmackDown general manager. Oh, he's also an analyst. He's also going to host all these shows for the WWE, right? I mean, any aspect of this, in reality wrestling, he's a manager and a valet, right? Any aspect of this industry that you could possibly think of, from promoting to wrestling to coaching to babyface, heel, singles, main event guy, opening match, middle of the match. He can give you something entertainment in a hardcore title match, or him and Goldust. Anything you can think of in this industry, he's done it and excelled at the highest of levels on it, like nobody has ever done, ever. You can't name another person who's done all the roles that there is to do in wrestling and been elevated and elite at it. So you shouldn't be on the Mount Rushmore. You should have your own monument.
And appreciate it, man.
You really should. The greatest wrestling superstar of all time.
Appreciate it.
And he married up.
And he's got a Hall of Fame family.
And I got a Hall of Fame wife. You got to love that too, man.
His wife's a Hall of
Fame.
Queen.
My wife.
But seriously, Mark, you're a longtime fan. Can you think of anybody else in the history of the business who's done everything in it and been elite at it?
I'd have to really take time to think about that off the top of my head. I mean, it's a pretty darn short list.
I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin was excellent as a babyface, right? Yeah. Excellent. When he turned heel, people just want to see him as a babyface. And I'm not knocking Steve at all, but I'm just saying probably the greatest babyface maybe in that era of all time. Hogan. But did any of those guys come and give back in a commentary perspective, and in a coaching perspective, run a school, run a promotion, do stuff? Like, no, they just haven't. And maybe they didn't want to. Maybe they didn't think that they'd be good. I don't know what the reason is, but they just haven't done it. Everything that you can think of in the business, he's done it. He's done it. No one else can say that. And he's in the Hall of Fame twice. How many people can say that?
Brad Gilmore just got a raise. Congratulations.
But listen to this. The second person to go into the Hall of Fame twice next to Ric Flair, right? The second person. That's crazy. I mean, that's insane. As soon as Book retires from the ring, they go, we got to put you in the Hall of Fame now. There's no point in delaying it, right? As soon as you retire from the ring. And then let's put you in as a tag team wrestler, too. Your wife deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, think about that.
My brother Hex. Yeah. The whole family. No, it's crazy. I've had a hell of a career. I never imagined or dreamt it, but I always wanted to be the best. I always wanted my name to, ring with, some of the greatest wrestlers. And I talk about, growing up and watching Ric Flair and, Nick Bockwinkel and, JYD and, just certain guys that made me want to be great. And thank God, I achieved this, all of that. Seriously.
We're going to hear more about it when we come back. We're a little bit behind on our break. So let's get that in. So more with Booker T and Brad Gilmore here on SportsX Radio. I'm Mark Hoke filling in for Ken Thompson tonight. Having a terrific Good Friday with two fantastic gentlemen who are kind enough to stop in here and spend some time on SportsX Radio on KDAWN. We will be right back.
Can you dig it, sucker?
And we are back on SportsX Radio. Anybody out there, if you're a wrestling fan, even if you're not, you got to know what that song means. That means Booker T's in the house. Here on 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas, the two-time Hall of Famer, and just a hell of a great guy, Booker T here, along with Brad Gilmore. Of course, they have their reality wrestling promotion down there in Houston, Texas. I think make a pretty good case to say they've got the best indie promotion in the country. I think there's a,
and school
say that and school and pretty darn good. And of course, what's up with the road games thing? You gotta tell me a little bit about that. What's going on there?
The road games, going down April 20th, the search for the ultimate athlete. It's a cross between the superstars from back in the day on Wired World of Sports that I used to watch, as well as the American Gladiator. It's a contest of will, strength, skill. It's going to test your heart just about in every way. The prize money, $10,000 grand prize.
Nice.
For male and female, 5,000 for male, 5,000 for female, as well as a couple of other prizes. But it's just something that I thought we could do to just motivate people more than anything. One thing that we do at Reality Wrestling, we do a thing called Fantasy Camp, like every 3 or 4 months, and we get people to come out and try out for Fantasy Camp, and we normally find a few students out of Fantasy Camp, and these students realize that they can do stuff that they never thought that they ever could do, just by being motivated, being pushed. One thing about the road games, just like for myself, I tried out to be one of the gladiators back in the day, and I fell out in the first round. First test that they put me through, I fell right out. But I was so proud of myself for doing it. It was one of those things that I wasn't going to look back, when I was 50 years old and say, man, I wish I would have tried that when I had a chance. The road games is all about that. It's something that you do not want to look back on and say, man, I wish I would have tried that, when I had a chance. And then again, you may win. And then again, you never know how it could change your life, when you put yourself through something, when you test yourself and push yourself like you've never pushed yourself before. So that's what the road games pretty much is all about.
How does somebody get involved in that?
Go to realitywrestling.com and sign up for the road games. Like I said, it's going down April 20th. You still got about 20 days to sign up. There will be elimination starting there again on the 20th. We're going to whittle it down to 10 females, 10 males, and then the road games really will begin.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah, baby.
I'm excited. I'm excited for it. And it shows also that reality wrestling is different from every other company, I guess, out there on a professional wrestling level, because, as when you talk about quote unquote independent wrestling, there's no independent wrestling promotion or company that has the subscribership on YouTube that we have. I mean, we're in the top 10 of all wrestling channels in the world. That includes WWE, AEW, New Japan, TNA, Ring of Honor, whomever, GCW, whoever you want to talk about. I mean, we're in that conversation, and we're thinking outside the box. Like, what are other ways that we can bring in talent, superstars, athletes, and viewership to a channel? And that's creating a different kind of content. So it's not only the reality wrestling program that's nearing 400 episodes that we have on there. It's also the Hall of Fame podcast. It's also video game play that we have on there and stuff like the road games. It's an entertainment beacon. We have all kinds of stuff on there, and I think that's what sets us apart. Well, that and so many other things.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, by the way, quick score update. Houston is up 16-10 on Duke, but we just saw she was getting carried off the floor there. So
it's not good.
So we'll have to see what's going on there. And Tennessee is up on Creighton 18-14, 8:40 left to go in the first half there. So,
yeah. Do you see Draymond got kicked out of the game the other day, like within 6 minutes?
He should have.
Look, I think you need to go talk to him.
Draymond needs to get kicked out of the league, man. They need to get him out of the league, man.
Just have a conversation with him. Put your arm around.
That's just crazy, man.
What's
He's
his
crazy.
deal, man?
I would be fighting him you can't talk to somebody like that. You really can't.
Oh, no.
You can't talk to somebody like that.
Well, like, you get a T within the first 6 minutes, and then you want to keep talking. You want to, cuss the referee out. Yeah, I mean,
I think that dude's going through a lot of personal issues.
He's got to be going through something
say that.
To be talking like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be acting that way on the court. No. But you know what? He'd probably be great in wrestling.
Oh, he'd be great in wrestling. Yeah, he'd be great in wrestling.
He'd be excellent.
Do you think you could train him? Do you think you could train Draymond?
Well, he's an athlete.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I think you could train him. Let's just say that. I don't want to say something that make
you say no. Look, you start trouble all the time. Say no.
That's what I'm saying. I say something, get picked up every time I say something.
And you know what it is, Mark? Normally it's me bringing it up.
It's always Brad. It's always Brad every time.
I bring it up, and then he gets the headline for it.
Oh, you are a troublemaker, Brad.
You know what? Sometimes, actually, I finally got my first headline the other day, though. Where I did something, and they called me out on it, which Book was thrilled about.
I was very excited. Yeah.
Oh my God, you two are something else, man. That's what makes reality wrestling a lot of fun. You guys and Kevin just cutting it loose and doing your thing.
Yeah, that's what it's about. I mean, if you're not having fun, it could really get really taxing very, very quickly. We try to make it fun, but we definitely try to make it entertaining for our fans more than anything. One thing about us at Reality of Wrestling, that's the one thing we think about more than anything is our fans and the way they look at it. So we appreciate this, the subscribers that we have on YouTube. And that's why we are trying to create more content and give them even more. 2024 is going to be an amazing year for us.
Well, aside from WWE, AEW is going to be back here in Las Vegas. And look, I'm curious to hear your thoughts about AEW and where they're going right now, because they seem to be changing their focus a little bit. And new writers, new people in charge of their live events, and having the competition for WWE is good. What do you think about this seemingly a little bit new direction for AEW right now?
Well, I tell you what, if they are taking on writers and they having guys to come up with more storylines, I think that's a good thing. And I say that because at Reality Wrestling, I can only imagine trying to write the stories, trying to book the talent, and do every produce the vignettes. I can imagine if I was trying to do everything. I need a team, a really good team around me, and the team doesn't have to be 20 people or anything like that. It could be 4 or 5 guys coming up with ideas. So if AEW is going in that direction, it definitely probably going to be more beneficial than the route they've been taking, over these last 4 years. I look at the advancement of NXT, and having a small, core group of, guys, coming up with ideas, what it's done for NXT. So I know one thing. I do know this: it cannot hurt AEW at all to try to expand from that perspective, to try to get more minds, on the product and try to figure out, what the fans, truly want more than anything. It's just like for me, I'm 59 years old. Brad is a whole lot younger than me. I could trust Brad to advise me on what the young people are listening to today, opposed to me actually knowing. So you got to be able to have that guidance, as well as to not think that you're the smartest guy in the room all the time.
Fair enough. Well, WrestleMania coming up, obviously, the Rock and Roman and that whole situation is kind of taken on a life of itself. But are you happy with that direction of with the Rock has been swearing on TV? We saw a little color. Things are getting back to more of an old school pro wrestling style there too. Should WWE stay with this? Get back to, you're laughing.
No, I mean,
you know
what? I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it a lot. I really do. Wrestling has always had an edge to it. I remember being a kid and watching Houston wrestling, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Mad Saw Buzz Sawyer trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
It was as real as it possibly could be. Those guys was, you knew these guys was going to drink a few beers after the wrestling match. I don't think that affected me as a kid at all growing up.
Yeah.
I really don't. Now, certain things in the wrestling business, do I, believe in? No. But as far as what's going on with The Rock, the swearing, okay, I'm not going to sit here and say maybe, we could tone that back a little bit. Okay. Because if I sit here and say, oh, it's great, people go, come on now. And I get it. I understand. Because my kids got to watch the show too. So but as far as the edginess of it, the girls, the payoff as far as the matches, I'm all in for it. Bringing that attitude era back, just that feel a little bit. I love it.
And I think to the Rock swearing thing, I mean, and I get what he's saying, like as far as, it's a kid's show, you want to think about kids, but I do think that I like it. And the reason I like it is because, I mean, The Rock is really utilizing those Hollywood chops that he has to bring us into the story. You know what I mean? And to me, sometimes you do have to have some colorful language in there to make somebody feel like this is real. Because like I was showing Booker a video earlier of The Rock beating up on Cody after I guess someone told him we're all clear. And then The Rock keeps in character, keeps beating up on him. But the things that he's saying are things that somebody actually might be saying if this was really happening. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Book, if you got into a real fist fight right now, would you make sure that you edited yourself, or would you be like, listen here, right? Because that's a real element of it. Now, do I want that on the show all the time? No. Do I like blood on the show? I actually don't. I've never liked color ever. I don't like it. Yeah. It doesn't do anything for me. If anything, it makes me want to turn the channel. But I understand what they're doing in this particular aspect, because like, Booker and I was talking about the Rocky movies. If in Rocky 1, Apollo and Rocky go at it and they don't look like they've gone through a fight and they're just still pristine and pretty and there's no sweat, there's no bruises, there's no blood. Well, I don't believe that a fight just happened. I believe that y'all just shot a movie. Yeah, right? Yeah. Now, with what Rock and Cody did, I believe a fight just happened. Something just went down. He's cussing him out. He's bleeding everywhere.
And the thing is, not just that. I think it's just like, say, for instance, we watch the UFC, and a lot of young people watch the UFC as well. But I think the UFC is catered to a more adult audience.
It is.
And I think that's something with professional wrestling had gone away for quite a long time. You can be a grown man and say, man, I got to go home and watch Raw tonight. You know what I mean? Yeah. Until now, it's cool again. For a grown man to say, man, I got to go see what The Rock doing, because Rock's been so big in Hollywood. And everybody know what they're seeing. They know they're seeing a great act, and I think it's great.
Yeah,
yeah. It's funny that you guys talk about the color, and one thing that I guess watching that era back in the day and remembering like Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard.
Oh yeah, man.
And those matches, I always thought that it had a place, but it had to be the right place.
Sure. Exactly.
Yeah. You didn't want to just do it every week.
Yeah.
It's like if Brad and I got into a beef, and eventually
I'd beat the hell out of you.
We would get to that point where you would try to beat the hell out of me and fail miserably, and I would leave you in a bloody pile, right? But it would get to that crescendo.
Yeah.
Right.
There might be one spot where, you might whack me with a wooden chair to establish a point in the feud where, okay, that's it. And then we get to the big match.
Yeah.
I mean,
but not every time we interact.
There's different schools of thought on it. Like I've heard John Moxley, who's kind of I'd say prolific leader.
That would be an understatement.
But he says like, oh, well, I think about it. If I get into a real fight and somebody's punching me in the face, I'm going to bleed. Like, that's his psychology. And you know what? Do I understand that? Yeah. Do I agree with it? No. But that's just that's his take on it. And you know what? I mean, to each his own. And I do think that there is a place for it in wrestling. It's just not something I like.
But I think everybody got to agree that The Rock, the element of The Rock, definitely has turned grown folks on to watching wrestling again.
Hell yeah.
And I think that's really the modus operandi of The Rock presence more than anything, as well as being able to lead by example. These young guys that's watching the show, just like, say, for instance, watching the Drew McIntyre CM Punk thing. Did it feel more real to you?
Absolutely.
It felt because
felt unscripted.
And I can tell you this: if those guys aren't learning from The Rock, is something. It really is a problem, in this business. And those guys, a lot of those guys need somebody like The Rock to really be able to show them the blueprint of what they really need to be doing.
And think about it from this way, like the Rock, when he first did his first movie, that was 2001, I think, right? 2001. So there are people out there who are 23 years old who've only known The Rock as an actor.
Exactly.
They've only known him as an actor. How many of those people who are the biggest Dwayne Johnson fans are now tuning in to see The Rock?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it works.
I think it does too. And one thing that's got to work is if I don't get this commercial break in before pretty quick here, we're going to be in some trouble, and Ken Thompson's going to kill me. So stick around, everybody. We'll be right back. One more segment with Booker T and Brad Gilmore here on SportsX Radio. 21-20, Duke has taken the lead on Houston, Creighton up on Tennessee by 1. Still both late in the first half. Stick around, everybody. We will be right back on SportsX Radio here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. And we are back on SportsX Radio here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Ken Thompson out for the night. I'm Mark Hoke filling in, having an awesome time here with Booker T and Brad Gilmore, having just a blast talking wrestling. And we're getting ready to go to halftime here on the Sweet 16 game. Looks like Duke is up 23-22 at the half. Low scorer here for the Duke Blue Devils and the Houston Cougars, trying to book a twip. Yeah, that's
twip.
That's how I talk.
Yeah, man.
That's the second time I did that tonight. I don't know. I don't know. I think I've been thinking about Booker T all night.
Don't drink before the show.
Yeah, that's usually a plus. And Tennessee is up on Creighton 29-27, 3:27 left to go in the first half. Maybe I need to go to the Preventative Diagnostic Center. That might help, because your health and the health of those you love is never more important. It's on our minds. To get peace of mind when you visit a Preventative Diagnostic Center. They have the only scanner of its kind in the region that gives early detection before signs and symptoms of more than 24 ailments like heart and lung disease. Call Preventative Diagnostic Center now to schedule your free educational consultation at 702-534-7900. Tell them Ken Thompson from SportsX Radio sent you. He did his scan. He's glad he did. Got information on his heart and overall health that he never would have known. Comfortable scan only takes minutes. He got a detailed report from a board-certified radiologist. And another great thing, if you have a spouse like Booker T and Charmel, they can go, and spouse is free. Go as a couple, take the one you love, get answers before their signs and symptoms. Both get a heart CT scan with calcium score for only $125, and it's a $600 value per person. You pay only $125. Early detection's key. You have peace of mind when you take charge of your health. Call Preventative Diagnostic Center right now, 702-534-7900, 702-534-7900. There we go. Yeah, you and Brad could.
Look at
that. You could be a couple. It's all good. So, Book, give us the rundown here on WrestleMania, man. Obviously, there's more going on than just, The Rock and Cody and Roman. So what else are you looking forward to on the card?
Honestly, I'm looking more forward to Stand and Deliver. That's what, my heart is really been, aching for more than anything. That's where my passion is right now. Watching the young guys go out there and perform at the highest level. Of course, Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes is something that I'm highly invested in, as well as Tony D'Angelo versus Ilya Dragunov. I tell you, man, if there's anybody that's that has made the fans feel a certain way over this last year, it's Ilya Dragunov. This kid is
something.
He is amazing. He is an amazing talent. So Stand and Deliver for me is going to be the one I'm looking for. I know Brad is going to be, thinking about The Rock and Roman and Cody and all that. And of course, for me, Cody cashing in is something that I'm really hoping to see.
Yeah, but I'm equally looking forward to Stand and Deliver, and it just the fact that Trick and Melo are main eventing, over the NXT title, really shows you how much stories matter.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not always about the title. Sometimes the story is the bigger thing, And for me, I'm looking forward to Stand and Deliver, and the entire WrestleMania card is looking pretty good to me. I think Becky and Rhea is probably going to be one of those show stealer moments, though. I saw Rhea Ripley and Charlotte work last year, WrestleMania. I was 6-7 rows back. It was an incredible match. It was probably the match of that night, one for me. And Rhea Ripley she's realer than real deal Holyfield, as Snoop Dogg would say.
Yeah. She is.
She's the truth, man. She's awesome. I knew she was awesome because I had the show on, and my wife was like, "Who is that?" You know what I mean? And she stands out, star potential.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see Gunther and Sammy go at it. That should be an awesome match too. And and I'm still waiting for Gunther and Dragunov to get together again.
It's gonna happen.
Oh man,
it's gonna happen.
I was asked to posed a question. Who should be the one to beat Gunther, and somebody said Ilya Dragunov, and I said, nah, I don't think he's the guy. But that was when I first got to NXT, and about 6 months later, I was like, maybe Ilya Dragunov should be the one.
Just those were classic matches when they fought years ago, and it'd be fun to see that again. Yeah. Well, guys, I want to thank you for coming in and taking the time to be on SportsX Radio. Booker, just obviously a huge fan for a long time, and Brad, you're all right too.
I appreciate it.
But of course, you can follow Booker on Twitter, or should I say X, at Booker T5X, and Brad's at Brad Gilmore. And of course, Reality Wrestling, realitywrestling.com. Check out everything they've got going on there. Some of the best wrestling in the country. Gentlemen, once again, an honor to have you here on SportsX Radio and here in the KDAWN studios, man.
Thanks, Mark.
Appreciate it, Mark.
And that's going to do it for us. We will see you guys on Monday. Well, Monday, back on SportsX Radio. Ken should be back, I think. And we will see you next time. Have a great evening in Las Vegas and a terrific Easter. God bless you all. We will catch you next time. Have a terrific night.